this is Grandpa Lance at Grandpa Lance's blog. I'm going to do this video primarily not as another tutorial about how to use Jamstix as a generality, but to go over a new feature that Ralph over at Rayzune has added to Jamstix 3 that I think is worthy of another video. He's added a portion or a way to bring in MIDI drum loops from other manufacturers. Now, if you own a DAW and one of the major drum machines, VSTs, you've probably got a bunch of drum loops sitting around on your hard drive that may or may not be being used at this particular juncture of your writing. I've got dozens, well, I would say hundreds of drum loops from both Addictive Drums and Toontrack and a few Groove Monkey. So when you have these, they're usually pretty well done. The problem I have with them is that they're so static that I have to actually go in and make changes on them to fit the song I'm working on. Oh, great. That's what I want to do right now. Let's see. Keep the color scheme. Okay, fine. All right. So, I was discussing drum loops. So, the drum loops that I have, I can make changes to if I use Jamstix 3. I can make them inside Steinberg, but it's more work than I really want to put into doing that. So, that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. As I mentioned, under the wizard, you can select import. Now, you can select anything you want to, but for this particular tutorial, I want you to go ahead and select import. Okay, once you've selected that, you want to go ahead and create a song. And you'll notice that here you have a place to actually import MIDI drum loops. Let's go ahead and do that. I've got under Easy Drummer, let's go ahead and choose, well, let's back up. You can add a folder from your hard drive of MIDI drum loops, okay? So once you've added that, it will allow you to audition these. All right, so this is under Easy Drummer. Actually, that's a Groove Monkey funk rock loop. Let's go ahead and import that. And say for the chorus, let's go ahead and load a loop. Let's just pick this one. Let's see what that one sounds like. Yeah, that's fine. They're not particularly inspiring, and as you can hear, there's no fills on the end of those. There's just a groove. All right. Now, let's go ahead and play these under Jamstix 3 and see what happens. Now, I want to note that these loops did not have fills at the end of them. So let's see what Jamstix 3 does with them. Now you notice that Jamstix 3 added to these MIDI drum loops fills and some accents that weren't in the actual loop, which is great. You can basically take your loop that you happen to like and give it more of what a real drummer would do to it. But that's not where it stops, okay? Or as they say on TV, but wait, there's more. Under this, you can actually do some additional changes. For instance, let's just deal with the style first. you could actually extract from other styles of Jamstix 3 to apply to this MIDI drum loop. So let's go ahead and do that. This is a funk rock beat. So let's go ahead and add some more rock elements to it. I'm particularly fond of rock 2-bar because you can actually do more tweaks on the kick drums and more tweaks on the hi-hat, which is particularly something that I really like about rock 2-bars, that you can really tweak out the, let's go back, you can really tweak out the hi-hat, which really makes a significant difference into what you're playing here. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back. Let's try this again. Import. Load the funk. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and extract from other style. And as I was mentioning, I really like the rock 2-bar. And I'm going to go ahead and grab all the elements of the rock 2-bar. I'm having some problems working the keyboard and speaking. It happens. That's what happens when you get past 40. Your memory and your ability to function seems to be impaired. All right, let's go ahead and extract that. And as I indicated about the hi-hat, there's some other elements you can change in the hi-hat. So for funk, I really want to add a more of a disco dual 16th note hi-hat. I also didn't dig the fills that were going on, so I'm going to go ahead and change the fills. I'm going to do a build into the chorus, add more power to that. Okay, and the chorus we'll leave alone. Let's go ahead and play that. See, as you can see, there are changes being made to that static drum loop without actually having to go into Steinberg or your DAW and move MIDI notes around and play and hope they're where they're supposed to be, and then if they're not, having to re-edit those things. But wait, again, there's more. You can also extract from other players. As I mentioned, I had chosen Tony because I think he's a great drummer, but since this is more rock, I'm going to add some elements from another drummer. Let's go ahead and choose Mike and select those elements and add. And as you can see, you've got a few more things added here that you didn't have before under just Tony. Let's go ahead and back up and play. As you can see, it's somewhat of a hybrid of Tony and Mike. These kind of things really do allow you to tweak in what your drum part is going to be for your song, and it also gives it a personality that the MIDI loop just didn't really have. MIDI drum loop didn't have by itself anyway. So, You can save these. You can save these changes that you've made to be able to pull up at a later time. For instance, you can pull up. I've saved a few, as you can see. Okay, well, this has been Grandpa Lance at Grandpa Lance's blog. I really hope this has been helpful. I just can't emphasize enough how often I use this particular piece of software. I use it on everything I do, and since I don't have access to a real drummer on a regular basis, this really does make it a much better process for me, creatively anyway, as far as an inspiration, to write songs that are more live feeling and more realistic. I definitely recommend that you go ahead and pick up this software and really start to play with it, because I think you'll really fall in love with this piece of software. This has been Grandpa Lance at Grandpa Lance's blog. Thanks.